All right, everyone. Welcome back to another tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to run through everywhere from onboarding someone, creating a staff profile, to building out an event, scheduling your crew, sending out availability requests. Basically, I'm going to go over everything in this tutorial, and it's just going to be a full overview so you get all the ins and outs of the software. I'm not going to go deep on global settings, but I'm just going to go ahead and build out events. That way, once you review this, you'll have a solid understanding and a foundation to get going on. And then if you receive this before we go into a demo, you'll be able to come to that demo with other questions so we can go deeper into the key things you want to hit on. That way we're not wasting anyone's time. But having that said, let's go ahead and dive right in. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to check out the dashboard. So what you're seeing here, right, is just getting started with the Event Staff app. We have some links that'll kind of help guide you through the software. And then right below here, we're showing, just know that we're showing two views on the dashboard. One is what you'll see as an admin or a manager, and the other is what your staff members will see or your crew members will see once they create an account and you start sending out, like, let's say, scheduled work shifts or availability requests. That's what they're going to see on the dashboard, on their dashboard. So they'll see today's work shifts. Here's some work shifts that we have, right? Today's work shifts, your upcoming work shifts, which I've confirmed. And as you can see right here, we have, they can view the few details of the event. You can add it to your calendar, whatever calendar they have associated to their laptop or phone, whatever that might be. They can get maps to said venue. And then down below those events, you'll find availability requests. So that's what they're going to see, right? It's just some basic information. They'll have on the left side their dashboard. They'll have messaging, right? And they'll have my work schedule here. And then they'll have this on their dashboard. And then they'll be able to go into their work schedule, view schedule, see their upcoming work, see their upcoming work week. They can see it by month. They can also block off when they're not available. That way you're not, scheduling someone that is not available and wasting, outreach and time. So what you would see though as an admin or a manager, you would have this dashboard, and let me scroll down past this. And then you'd also have just your upcoming events, right? Some of the upcoming events, not all of them. I'll show you the other location where you can see all your upcoming events in a better area to go and start working on each event. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go under staff, right below events, and I'm going to create a staff account. So to do that, you click on create staff account, and then right here you'll see account status, and you can leave it as active, disabled, or pending. Really, you're not going to put it on disabled right now. If you're actually onboarding someone, you might put it as pending, because you might, after you onboard them, you might still be waiting on some documentation, certifications you need to add to their profile, whatever that might be. But we have those three options. And then once you go to edit someone's profile, if you do want to disable them, you come and edit their profile, you click on disable, save that, and then they would fall into disabled. So then they would never get notifications or anything like that anymore. But you could always reactivate them and pull them back. So just make note of that as well. And for user access role, we have standard staff user, but you can build out as many user access roles as you want to determine what level of access you want each individual to have to the software. And then you have some basic information: first name, last name, phone number, email address, date of birth. This would be a default pay rate for any of the positions worked, or if you want to select whatever position, you can select as many positions as you want, and then you could assign a specific pay rate to those said positions, if that makes sense. So that way, if they're a bartender, maybe the rate is $20, right? And then if they're a supervisor, the supervisor rate is $25. So every time they get scheduled for that said position, they'll get that pay rate that's associated to that position within their profile. And then I will scroll down here. We have, work type desired. That's totally obviously at your discretion. Street address. The unique thing about the street address is that we calculate the commute distance from home address to said venue. That way you can determine if that's the right person to put on said event. Maybe they're closer to another event, but you'll be able to see that within the software, and I'll show you where in just a minute. Down below here, we have payroll and HR. That might be ADP, Paycor, Paycom, Paychex, whatever really payroll software solution you use, an HR solution you use. You can assign their unique ID number right here. It's good to put that there, so when we do the timesheets for your payroll reports, it'll be a seamless export and import into said software. Now, we do have to customize that for whatever software you're on. We don't have direct integrations with those payroll companies, but we are able to produce payroll reports like Excel spreadsheets, CSV files, whatever they need. And we can lay that out to their specific needs. And then you can export that and import that into those softwares. And we've done it for multiple clients. And then we have some custom fields right below that. Custom fields are just that, custom fields. You can put whatever custom fields you want, and you do that in the global settings. And then down below here is additional options. This one that's toggled off, it's add this staff member to all relevant group availability requests for upcoming events. So basically, once I go to activate someone's new profile, all the past events that I've like maybe sent out availability requests for, that might be coming up, they'll have the ability to see those events, and that it'll be an automatic trigger to them. So they'll get requested to see if they're available to work for those particular events, as long as you're still staffing them and requesting availability. And then right below that is send welcome message to staff member. Go ahead and click on that. Boom, they're active and they'll get that welcome message. Okay, now that we've done that, I'm going to go back up under view events. This is where you can view all your events, right? All your upcoming events. And as you can see, we have the actions tab. And I went over this more in detail, this section on how to create an event in another video. But basically, you have your actions tab, your event title, date and time of the event, the messaging mode, the client, if you have a client associated to this particular event. All the call times will be listed here. And then the amount of work shifts right here that we've sent out so far, the scheduled work shifts we sent out, and then how many people have actually confirmed. And then over here, it's all the availability request information. So this is where you could come and edit events. If you want to go straight to staffing, you could do that. You could open the event up to edit the event. You could copy it to make it, like if you wanted to utilize it as a template, print the event out. This is good for if you wanted to get like a good printout that you can provide on site. That way you have some backups. In the event, your laptop or your phone or whatever device you're using goes down, or internet goes out, or something happens and you can't utilize the software. This is technology. It happens. No one's perfect. If they tell you are, they're absolutely lying. It could happen. Has it happened often to us? Not at all, but it does happen. So this printout would be just a good backup depending on how many people you have on site. Well, that doesn't really matter because all the names will be listed down here for all the staff that's working the event, right? And then you can put their clock in, clock out time, the break times, and then their signature if needed. That way you just have some backup in the event you need that. Next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under here to create event, and I'm going to create an event. So I'm going to pick ABC Company. I'll put the event title as Demo Day, description, all day event, dress code, all black, can't spell, there we go. And then so on, private comments, maybe you associate an event ID number to your events. And here are past locations that I've worked with said client, right? So that way, I mean, if I've worked at a specific venue with this client already, I don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. It would automatically save to this client's profile. So I'm just gonna pick SoFi Stadium. Date and time of the event, I will go ahead and put, let's say, August 18th, and it's going to be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then down below here is communication. The first one is Daily Digest. I went over that when I did the create event demo, but just a recap, this right here is if you are building out like 8 events today. Let's say it's Friday. We're building out 8 events, and we're just getting ahead of the schedule, right? So all those events we built today, whether we sent availability requests or triggered to send scheduled work shifts, those won't go out, let's say, until like 8 p.m. So let's say you set Daily Digest mode for 8 p.m. Once you work on all those events, end of the day, get those all triggered to send out at 8 p.m. Each staff member is going to get one text message and one email, and it's going to list all the availability requests and all the scheduled work shifts. That way they get it in one text and one email versus multiple, and because that could get quite annoying. It's just a good way to consolidate everything. And then right below that is require staff to confirm receipt of scheduled work shift. Highly recommend keeping that toggled on. That's a crucial step to really get a better understanding of where you're at with your numbers. And then we have time tracking. So you could either do one or the other. You can't do both as of yet. Maybe we might change that, but right now you can only do one or the other. So you got to pick. So are you going to allow staff to clock in and out on their own? Or do you want them to present a QR code to the supervisor or admin on site as they arrive to the event? It's totally up to you on how you want to do that per event. Custom fields are just that. You can add in as many custom fields as you want. Any information you want to put there, that's totally up to you. And then also, you can also determine, once all this is created and your staff members are scheduled, you can determine what those individuals actually see when it comes to the event details. You don't have to give them all the details. You can decide what details, what information you actually want them to see. Final block is file links. And this is where you can drop a Google Drive or a Dropbox link, or any link really that you can give access to your staff to go obtain any files, like let's say PDFs, BEOs, parking lot instructions, whatever it might be, whatever documentation you want them to have on site. You can dump that link in here, as long as you obviously give them access. Once they click on that link and they have the access, they'll be able to go obtain those files. So I'm going to go ahead and create this event. No thanks. And now you notice it takes me right to staffing. So that's the next step, right? So now I'm going to send out availability requests. So what I'm going to do is create a call time, and I'm going to build this call time out for bartenders. Does this call time repeat? No. But let's say if this is a 3-day conference and it did repeat, I can put yes, and then I can click on whatever day that call time repeats, and I could also change the times on those each day if needed. Number of staff needed, I'll just put 4. Bartenders, I'll leave this blank. This is another area you can put a pay rate. If you don't assign it to the profile, you could always put it here. Then you have bill rate, and bill rate, that's your client bill rate. That way you can calculate your profit on that event. Skill level, I'll leave it at any, but obviously you can toggle beginner, intermediate, advanced, and within the staff profile to each position, you have the ability to select what one you want to do. And also make note, you can build out as many positions as you want within our software. I didn't hit on that earlier. I don't think I did. And then right below here is ask relevant staff if they're available for this call time. I'm going to put yes, and I'm going to send this out, this availability request out immediately, because I want to show you on my phone what that looks like, right? So, and then down below here we have additional fields. You can put a post name, a call time title, any specific notes you want for this particular crew once they're scheduled, and maybe there's a special dress code for them versus everyone else. And then start time, I'm going to change it to 9 a.m. since the event starts at 10 a.m. They get there an hour early for setup, and I will go ahead and create this call time. Cool. Now availability requests have been sent out. We're just waiting on staff members to receive their text messages, and then I'll get into availability next. But if you wanted to continue to build out positions, you would just do the same thing. So let's say I wanted to get a manager, schedule a manager. I only need 1 manager for this event. Does the call time repeat? No. I will leave the pay rate blank. Show up time will be 9 a.m. as well. Actually, I'll put it at 8:30 for the manager, just so he arrives on site, or she arrives on site a little early, earlier before the crew. Ask relevant staff. I'll leave this as no, and I'll show you how I can go straight into scheduling that person and not have to send out availability requests. You don't have to send out availability requests. You can go straight to scheduling. So I'm going to create this call time. So now let's say it's Monday, right? It's Monday. We're back into the office. We want to see who said they're available. So I'm going to go to availability, come in, and I'm going to look at bartender staff. So right now, as you can see, there's an answers section here. Work shift. I can add the work shift and schedule this individual, their first name, last name, the amount of hours they've been scheduled for the week so far, the commute distance, the number of shifts they've ever done with us. Their phone number would be listed here. This is the call time. This is when they are notified. This is when they viewed it, and this is when they responded. I haven't received the text message yet, but when I do, I will go ahead and show my phone so you can see what that looks like. But let me go ahead and pretend answer for this staff member. Yes. All right. So now let me go in here. And now you can see, awesome. Tina said yes. That's great. I will go ahead. Everything looks good. I know Tina. I want her to work this event. So I'll schedule Tina. And as you can see, still it hasn't been sent out yet. Every 5 minutes it gets launched out. But it just depends on where we're at within those 5 minutes. So typically it's every 2 to 4 minutes. Between 2 and 4 minutes is when those text messages get sent out. So I'll go ahead and answer for a couple more people. I'll put yes here. And then let me go back in and I'll answer no for someone just so you can see what that looks like, even though I'm sure we all have an idea. All right, so as you can see, yes, yes, there's a no, right? And so I'll go ahead and schedule this Tina right here. I'll schedule Tim, and then I'm gonna wait until I get the text message, and then I will go ahead and confirm it, and we'll come back to this in just a minute. But now that I've scheduled these three, right, I'm good right now. I'm going to go over to scheduled staff over here. And now make note, they don't know they've been scheduled yet. I've just scheduled them in the software. And then now I'll go to the final step. I look at my scheduled crew here. I definitely want these bartenders on this event. Everything looks solid. I would come over here to the top right, and I would send the work shifts. So now I'm going to send the work shifts, highlight everyone's name, and I'm going to send those out. Okay, so now all those staff members, the 3 that you see here, are going to get a notification letting them know they've been scheduled for the event, and you're done. Now they've been scheduled. Now you're just waiting on confirmations to come through. So let's pretend, let me edit this shift real quick. Pretend he said yes. Save changes. Edit shift. I'm going to answer yes. I'm just doing a dummy answer for everyone. And I'll put, let's say Tina said yes as well. Boom. She knows she's confirmed. So now everyone's confirmed. They're solid. They've saved it to their calendar. It's saved into their calendar. They got everything locked in. And we're good to go on these 3 staff members. So now let's say I wanted to schedule a manager directly because I already know the manager's schedule. I don't need to send out availability requests. I would just click on this call time I created, and now I can go down to the manager that I want to schedule, create work shift. Boom. Now Jay right here has been scheduled. I'd go send shift, highlight Jay, and create those work shifts. Now I sent that shift to Jay. He's going to get notified letting him know he's been scheduled. And I'm going to edit shift and say yes for Jay. Save changes. Okay, cool. So that's the step. Now, going back to availability requests. So I actually received the text message. I also received the email, but I'm not going to show that. But as you can see here, right, it says, are you available August 18th? And then I'll click on that link. Click on the link, and as you can see at the top, it says, this is not a scheduled work shift. It's an availability request. And then it just has some brief information on the event, on the event here, right? Ability to download the app. I'll click yes. I responded yes. There it is, right there. Cool. So I have the ability to download the app. It gives me that option. It's not required. You do not need to download the app. You can just strictly work off these text messages or emails that are coming through, and that's it. We have seniors on this software, and it's really easy for them to use it because they don't like apps. They're not tech savvy. They just need the basic things to be able to say yes, they know they're confirmed, and yes they're available. That's all they really want to know how to do, and we give them that ability. It's super simple. We have tons of seniors on our software, and they absolutely love it. So now I'm going to go into availability requests. Let's say it's the next day. I want to see who else said they're available. I'll go ahead and let me update this real quick. Refresh my page. Boom. So now I have Jordan, that's me. I said yes, so okay, cool, Jordan's available. I'm gonna schedule that. Perfect. Now it tells me my needed count for the bartender call time is now filled. Awesome. So I'd go back over to the left, scheduled staff, go up to the top right, send shifts, hit Jordan's name, boom. And now Jordan's been notified that he's been scheduled. So now I'm going to get a text message in probably another 5 minutes letting me know I've been scheduled with all the details of the event. But you get the idea. So that's really it. That's a really quick run through on how to onboard someone, how to build out an event, right? And just get it rocking. So another thing I want to make note is if, let's say it's event day and you're like, how does an admin clock them in? If I just want the admin to actually clock them in on site, they would just go under the actions button, clock in and out, and then there'd be a great big green button here that says clock in. Obviously, we just built this event out. It's not till the 18th, but you can do that. If you ever needed to like manually adjust their shift times, you can go to edit shift and you'll have the ability to manually adjust these times if needed, right? There's some custom fields associated to this that you can go ahead and customize. And we could support you on that, right? Also, when it comes to time tracking, obviously, if you look all the way to the very right, we have the in and out times here. If you click on not yet, that would be actually, let's say they already clocked in and out. You'd click on that number, it would pop up, and we'd actually give you the GPS coordinates of where that person clocked in from and or clocked out from. So we do track their GPS coordinates to where they were actually at when they clocked in and clocked out. We do not have geofencing yet. It is coming. And maybe after you see this video and I haven't removed this video yet, it's already here. So just ask us. It might be here. But as of right now, it's not. But it is something that's coming. Okay, so now I'm just going to go down through everything else just to give you a quick rundown on everything. So you see we have a calendar view here. This is where you can come and review all your events from a calendar view. You can do it by the month, week, day, or get a list going. A scheduled overview. So this is where you can pick a specific day and you'd be able to see all the events that they would look like this. And it would have the call times listed here, all the names that are scheduled for that work shift and if they've confirmed or not, right? And then you have scheduled conflicts. These are some conflicts I need to go back and resolve. You can create a client. You can view all your clients, right? Go into the information and do whatever you have to do for that client's profile. And then under staff, we also have view staff. That's where you can go view all your staff. You can see who's active, disabled, or pending. You could always bring the disabled ones back. Maybe it's a seasonal thing and you disable everyone during a certain part of the season and then you bring them back. It's totally up to you. You can totally do that. And then we have a cleanup roster function here where you can go ahead and see, let's say the past 90 days, who has responded, who hasn't really been responsive, or who hasn't responded with like an availability request. This way you keep a clean roster. I can go ahead and toggle that, toggle all the names, disable them, and then they'll get a message saying, hey, do you still want to work with us or not? And it's up to them. Then if they said yes, then you can reactivate them from the disabled section and just reactivate them. I'm going to jump to messaging mode. This is where you can go specifically you can go and specifically message an individual. You can send a message out to everyone, your whole crew, everyone that's in your organization, right? Or that you have at least listed in the system. Put a subject message and that'll go out via email and text message. If I wanted to go event specific, I can find the event, click on the exact event. We will go to demo day. This is the one we just did, right? And then I can go to specific position, bartenders, and now all those bartenders are going to get a message from me. Or maybe I only want a couple of them to get a message from me. But this is a great way to get out really important information out rather than just putting it in a group chat, then it gets lost, right? If you need to get specific information to staff members, this is a great way to get them that information. And then, or if I just want to hit everyone on the event, I could just leave that as NA and then highlight everyone's name and send that out. And then these text messages are also bi-directional. So, well, real quick, I got a scheduled work shift. So scheduled work shift text message came in. You have been scheduled. I click on that. And then it would say here, it would provide me my QR code because I put it at a QR code. Oh wait, here we go. It'll have all the information here, right? Got my QR code. I got to confirm that I know I'm scheduled. Hit yes. Right now I know I'm scheduled. I could add it to my calendar. I could get maps to the event and all the other details that I've allowed these staff members to see. Right? So there we go. But let me go ahead and go, can I get more info? More info. Can I? Boom. So again, this text messaging is bi-directional. So now what you're going to see is this come into our software, and whatever admin has that privilege or that's created this account with us, however you set it up, you'll get that text. That admin or admins will get the text messages, letting them know they received a text message. So I'd go here, receive text message. And this is the text message right here, the first one that I just responded to. So now I can click on that and we could have a full-on conversation right from the software. We keep everything centralized, super important for communication and for legality purposes. You're just keeping everything centralized so you don't lose anything. Right below that, we have my work schedule. We went over that briefly in the beginning of the demo. And then we have reports. This is a dashboard view, right? Of just like events, amount of work shifts for the year, labor costs. You got payroll, where you can just do like a high level overview, and you can do start date from last year to this year, see how many hours that person has worked throughout the whole year. Whatever information you need to grab, you can get from our software in regards to the time tracking. And then we have labor right here. This is where you can check. That's a bad example. Let's see. That's a bad example. Here we go. If you wanted to look at, like, let's say by bartenders, by drivers, whatever you want to see that from, like whatever view you want to see, you can go ahead and determine, what positions you want to see, all the regular hours, overtime hours, double time. You get the idea. And then under that, we have events. And this is where you can go to an event specific. I'll go to this event. We can see the total hours scheduled, the total scheduled cost. Obviously, there's not a lot of information in here, but you get the idea. And we have first name, last name, the payroll ID or HR system ID number here, the position, start time, end time, hours scheduled, pay rate, clock in, clock out, hours clock, scheduled, cost, clock cost, bill amount. So we track all that for you. If you go up even further, back up under staffing to payroll, you can go to timesheets. You can select a pay cycle if you've set them already in the software and global settings. And then we have this is another view for payroll. So this is the spreadsheet I was telling you that we can customize depending on what the software you're utilize for payroll and HR, whatever spreadsheet, however they need their spreadsheet laid out, we can customize that for you because we have all the information. And we have a timesheet by overview. If you look all the way down, we do overtime, double time, total hours, all that stuff. And then line items here, we can go ahead and you could add tips, all that, right? You could also do a timesheet by event, have that view. It'll have the event name here. You can do timesheet by staff. Just any way you want to see this, we can make it happen for you. And then I would say that's pretty much it. That's a good solid run through of the software, just from start to finish. Other than that, if you have any questions, just let us know. Feel free to reach out. Obviously, if we're going into a demo after you've seen this, please make sure you jot all your questions down and be prepared for our meeting. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate your time. Much love. Peace out.